The kids here in front of you started in our beginning orchestra last year for the most part. There's a few of them that came into Simonds already playing, and they're once again accompanied by our wonderful chamber orchestra. Please put your hands together for the experienced orchestra. Our first selection is called Velocity, and it sounds just like the definition of the word. This is Velocity. Our next selection is Sahara Crossing, and while we were doing Velocity, our wonderful drummer Eli was setting himself up here in the corner. He played earlier on Boogeyman Blues. It's just great to see so much leadership and independence as we go from, TK all the way through elementary school and now to middle school level. They're so capable and they're so willing. Eli came in today knowing that the concert was tonight, and he's sight ready with our chamber orchestra, and he's here tonight. Can we give a round of applause for Eli on the drums? Okay, if Velocity sounded like what it is, this next one is Sahara Crossing. You'll hear the caravan head out into the desert, into a moonlit night, light clouds passing through the sky, and adventure begins. This is Sahara Crossing. Next up by the Safaris, this is Wipeout. This is a fun piece for them to learn about low twos and high twos and also just rip through their instruments, and one of the great pieces from the 60s. This is Wipeout. We're gonna close out with something that they're always aspiring to play, which is by Coldplay. It's a piece by Clocks, and you'll hear some soloists throughout. Some of them will be Simonds kids, some will be Castillero kids. They'll be supporting each other. But before we do, let's make sure we thank some folks. SMTF does a lot of work to make sure that music happens at Simonds. We can't do this without them. We can't do this without you. We have Barb here. I'm sure she's around here somewhere as our president. She's managing a lot, right? She's managing the coordination with admin and the site and the custodial and all the facility usage, and then also helping with our parent group, trying to make sure that we have volunteers, we have parents on site to help us. If I'm teaching the kids and one has to use the restroom, I can't walk them to the restroom, and after school the rules are different. So thank you so much for all the parents who have stepped up, raised their hand and said, I can help. And Miss Sonia, Miss Karen, and Miss Mead, all the others that came with us. There were probably a few others that I've forgotten their names off the top of my head, but thank you to all of those wonderful parents. Give a round of applause to anybody who volunteered for SMTF. We're really grateful to be able to return this program next year. This is how it works for the next couple of weeks. All the instruments, like Mr. Bowman said, stay here tonight. We're going to keep the instruments here. They're Simonds inventory. I know there are 2 string players at least that own their own, so of course we're not taking their instruments. We'll be taking them back. But all Simonds instruments stay here tonight. And then Mr. Bowman and I go through the whole inventory. We make sure that we don't have to replace strings, fix bridges, make adjustments, adjust the bow, we put on new finger tape, all the things that are necessary to keep the inventory in good shape. Once that's finished, then we can do summer rentals. And the summer rentals are for anyone who would like to use it, who's coming back to Simonds next year and playing in the band or the orchestra. You have the option to rent an instrument from Simonds. So that's how that will work. You will get an email about it. I saw lots of emails saying we're interested. Terrific, we're glad you are. You're going to get an email for when they become available. It'll take a minimum of 10 days because we're still in the middle of concert season, and we're going to collect the instruments, take care of it, and so forth. Then, for all the students who are coming here to Castillero, if there are band kids coming to Castillero, if there are orchestra kids coming to Castillero, and they're in the band program or in the orchestra program, you now have access to our inventory, and there's no cost to that inventory. So if you're in the beginning orchestra or the Indigo Orchestra, the beginning band or the concert band next year, we'll have an email for those students, and you'll get to say, we want you to practice over the summer. Here's a saxophone, here's a cello, here's a bass, whatever it is that your child plays, and there'll be an informational email for that as well, and you'll just come here to Castillero, we'll give you the instrument, and then you have it for the summer. If you're coming to Castillero, very simple, and we just put you in our database, no payment necessary because it's all part of the public school program, so how lucky for you if this is the school that you are at in the fall. The other questions about inventory, this is our last meeting, of course. If we have their instruments, that means the program is finished as of today. And for the people who are coming back to Simonds in the fall, you'll have emails in August about when classes start, and we'll start after Labor Day like we did this year. The final thing to mention is that we can't do this without all of these students. So could I have all of the jazz band students stand up one more time? Jazz band students stand up. Chamber students stand up. So first we're going to recognize the middle school kids. Jazz band and chamber, please get a big round of applause. I don't know how many concerts is this for band this year, but I know this is probably our 11th engagement for the chamber orchestras. They play a lot of music, they do a lot of extra things. I really appreciate how much energy and effort they do. Tomorrow they have 2 more concerts, for example. They had concerts on Tuesday, band had concerts on Tuesday, band has a concert tonight right after this. So once we finish here, we're going to skedaddle quickly so that Mr. Bowman can get the next concert going. But I also want to especially recognize the high school kids. Once you have a high school in your family, you understand what a busy schedule looks like. It's adorable in 2nd grade, but it's like, oh my gosh, my schedule's so busy. It's still adorable in 6th grade, we're like, oh my gosh, my schedule's so busy. It's adorable in 8th grade when they say their schedule is so busy. And then in high school, it really is something for these young people to manage. So we have several high schoolers on this side. Mr. Bowman, any high school helpers on that side tonight? Over there, high school helpers? Not out here right now, but we had some high school helpers on the band. Here, if you're a high school helper, can you stand up so I can just say your name? I think I have Dayun right here, right? Dayun, stand on up. Come on, nice and tall. Bella, stand on up. If I keep going over here, we got Shira right here. Raise your hand. Shira and Mateo right here, raising their hand. We have Olivia and Derek. These 6 and a few, Dustin, a.k.a. Dustin. These 6 have come all year round, and in addition to their schedule helping these students, it's a huge sacrifice of time. They want to give back because they know what they've been given, and they're just really wonderful young people. So a big round of applause for them. Without further ado, here is Coldplay's Clocks. And that's a wrap for music at Simonds this year. We're going to help the folks get put in the right places. But first, one more giant round of applause for our band, Orchestra.